We're going to go ahead and move on to our 6.18, public hearing, consideration of appeal PL 25-22 AB 2406 of the Planning Commission's approval of major use permit UP 23-05 and initial study IS 23-10 for the Ag Forest Wood Processing Bioenergy project located at 755 East Highway 20, Upper Lake, APN 004-01004. Appellant Larry Kahn, continued from May 20th, 2025. Laura?
Yes, hi. I believe Maria's wanting to continue to July, I believe the last meeting in July,
Okay.
because we have not heard back from the state yet.
Okay, and then I know we received, Lloyd, did you want to?
So for your chairs and your board's consideration, you may want, even at a request for continuance, you may want to take in swearing in for potential possible testimony even on this issue.
Okay. All right, yeah, from what I understand it, there's an email that the state needs to get back to, or is looking into the matter of, right, or something like that?
Yes, and so your board may want to check to see if there are any
Right.
potential witnesses who may want to be sworn in.
Okay. So, Johanna, if you could swear some folks in. If you're here to speak on behalf of this, if you could swear in and raise your right hand, and Johanna will swear you in. Come on up.
All right. Okay. And then we have Tara Morris in Zoom raising her hand. Okay. With your right hand raised, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. All right. Thank you.
All right. Ray, did you want to add anything to this?
Yes, thank you. I apologize for my tardiness. Mireya Turner, Community Development Director. We'd like to request a continuance of this item to a meeting in the middle of July. We have ongoing communications with the state, which directly relate to this item that we'd like to make sure we have enough time to conclude.
Okay. So with that, we have everyone sworn in. We'll go ahead and open it up to the public. If anyone would like to discuss the continuance discussion, or please come to the microphone. And
Hi, I'm Barbara Morris, and I would propose that you consider postponing the next meeting or the vote on this until after the Department of Water Resources, the State Department, has contacted the State Controller's Office, and the status of this property has been determined. Otherwise, we just keep coming back and doing this, and it's a hardship for people that, would like to attend but work or have children. And as I stated in my letter, for various reasons, it's, and it's an added expense for Larry and I to have our lawyer, Marcia, come every month by Zoom, when we're just going to have to keep continuing it till the matter of the lease and the conservation easement is settled.
all right.
So please consider postponing this until those matters are clear.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Good afternoon, Tom Lasik. I too support having a continuance instead of a date certain, but a date time certain, unless there's some high level of confidence that the information that the county is expecting can come back in time, because it does create a hardship for a community that can ill afford, paying for this each and every time. So unless there's some confidence that this could be, the decision whether one way or the other can be resolved by July, I would suggest a date and time uncertain, if all parties agree. Thank you.
Did you want to add?
The request for a time date certain is based on two criteria. First would be if we went too far out, it would cause an unnecessary delay in hearing this item. Secondarily, to go to a time date certain is helpful to our budget because we don't have to notice it through direct mail and newspaper again.
All right. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? All right, I'll open it up to the Zoom.
Hi, my name is Tara Morris. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, so we're asking for this continuance to not be rescheduled immediately due to the burden it causes on the community who will be trying to attend these meetings, and to all of us who are trying to schedule these meetings. I understand from the emails we've received from our PRA request that the CDD has agreed to fast track this project, and those are the words exactly from Tom Jordan to Myrea Turner, to fast track this project and move it forward as quickly as possible. But this letter that we received from the Department of Water Resources, I would like to read, that says, Pawan, who is the Lake County Director of Department of Water Resources, thank you for meeting with us on Monday, June 2nd, to discuss the proposed biomass facility and related lease agreement with Scotts Valley Energy Corporation. As you know, DWR reimbursed Lake County for the purchase of parcel APN 004-01004, the project site, under the flood corridor program using bond funds. The lease of this property to a private entity is likely not compatible with the bond source language and may create a tax issue. DWR needs to coordinate with the State Controller's Office on this. Given the time of year and the fact that the State Controller's Office is focused on the fiscal year 2026-27 budget, DWR will likely not receive clarification or direction from the State Controller's Office until later this summer. Per the Lake County Board of Supervisors meeting agenda from May 20th, this item was continued to June 17th, 2025, given that the State Controller's Office will likely not provide clarification or direction until after this continuation date. DWR will require additional time to research this matter further. And this letter is sent from Elizabeth Bison, a professional engineer who is the manager of the Flood Financial Assistance Section and Division of Flood Planning and Improvement for Department of Water Resources. So based on this letter, it's not clear that the state controller will have time to have a decision by mid-July. They have other things that they're dealing with. So to push this to mid-July and have everybody show up again and then push it out again doesn't make sense. It's undue burden for everybody. So we're requesting that until the decision has been made as to whether this project site can even be leased and the lease is compatible and that this project is compatible.
If you can wrap up, please.
We ask that you consider postponing and not setting a date until we have a decision whether this project can even move forward. Thank you.
Marsha, if you can unmute.
Good afternoon, Chair and Supervisors. This is Marcia Birch, and I represent the appellant and some of the other neighbors. I was actually going to draw your attention to the correspondence that Tara Morris just read to you. There is some uncertainty, and unfortunately, the state is sometimes moves relatively slowly, particularly during this time of year when it comes to the state controller's office. And it is my view that until the supervisors know whether or not this lease is legal, it's not really productive to continue this meeting repeatedly. I think there needs to be a definitive response from DWR and the State Controller's Office. So I understand that noticing is somewhat of a burden, but it's something that county staff does on a regular basis, and I think a renotice makes sense under these circumstances.
All right. Thank you. Is there another person on Zoom? All right, no more hands in Zoom. Is there anyone else that would like to come up to the microphone? All right, I will close public input and bring it back to the board. Rhea?
Staff does request a continuance to July 22nd at 10 a.m.
All right. Is that 10 a.m. you said? Supervisor Sabatier?
Sure. Is there a way to make sure the appellant and the applicant know in advance? Maybe if by July 15th it's not there, then it's probably not going to happen, so that we don't waste people's time, because we hear it all the time that people do take the time to be here and then told it's continuance. I think those things happen in court, they happen here, kind of a quasi-judicial, but is there a way to maybe set a deadline that if we don't have a response, that there would be communication to let the parties know that it will be continued to reduce and mitigate the potential waste of the public's time?
Certainly. There is a 2-week or a 15-day deadline for turnaround on agenda items. So when we hit the deadline for getting this into Granicus, we'd be happy to notify the appellant and the permittee at that time. Additionally, another thing we could do on the posted agenda for those who get their notifications through the posted agenda is to add in parentheses that if a request for a continuance will be presented.
Is there a way to, because they're talking about end of summer, I've heard that statement being made, I don't know if that's the case. Could mid-August be a thought, or can we put it out that far, or is that?
It's totally up to the discretion of the board. The goal of setting it in July was to, if we received the decision or if we concluded our communications with the state by that time, to not have to wait another month.
I see. Go ahead, Supervisor Owen.
Would perhaps getting it ready for the agenda, but if you do not have the information in time from the state on whether, it's legal or not, could we hold it and not have it put on the agenda before the printing of the agenda?
I appreciate that question. Were the board to continue this to a time and date certain, it would have to be on the agenda, but that's why we would notate if a request for continuance was going to be made at that time.
Vice Chair and then Supervisor Sabatier.
I'm leaning towards the middle of August. You said there was 2 reasons why it was problematic to put it out too far. One being, or if it was uncertain, then you have to renotice. But would the middle of August be within reasonable belief that we might get something back from the state? Do you have
We
any
do
thoughts on
anticipate the reply from the state sometime this summer.
that? Okay.
But they didn't give us any sort of indication on a month or a date specific. So because typically these projects are grant funded with their own deadlines, I haven't confirmed with the permittee at this time, but that was the reason for doing a check-in in July, see if we're done and ready then. If not, we could continue to August or to whenever the board chooses.
Yeah, I'm in favor of
August. Supervisor Sabatier.
And I just wanted to mention that the question we're asking is a question that was asked 3 years ago when the lease started in the first place. That's somewhat frustrating to me, and I know that's not on you or your department. I'm just expressing some frustration with lack of knowledge on something that was brought up a while ago. I don't mind a continuation today with the idea of a continuation next time, but I have my limits of how many continuations until we're really absolutely wasting people's time. So I think the longer the time frame, the easier it will be to make sure that that information can be there. I think this is really vital and important information to have before making a decision. But at the same time, too many continuations and it just starts to feel silly.
We do have an opening on August 12th at 9:30, should the board prefer that date.
Supervisor Owen?
I believe the state had mentioned late summer, that they should be getting back to us. Is that correct? Am I correct on that? Was that the
I
statement?
think they said later this summer.
Oh, later this summer.
We tried to glean any sort of meaning out of it, but that's the
Sure.
best I got.
Only because August is midsummer. So we might be putting it,
September 20th is the end.
yeah.
All right. Do you want to add anything else?
No, just I would say pushing out as far as possible to try to get that information in for the convenience of the people.
Go ahead.
There's any date in August. Just gonna tell me what day you want, point you want.
Well, you said August 12th. What,
The
in,
last week of August?
Mhm.
Third, fourth,
Last week.
last week? Okay, is the 26th.
I'm good with that.
9:30?
okay, August 26th at 9:30. You good with that? All right. You okay? All right. With that, is there anything else, or do we just, Lloyd?
It would be a motion for continuing this hearing to a date and time certain.
That would be August 26th at 9:30 a.m.
Mr. Chair, if it's okay with the board, I'll make a motion to continue this public hearing to August 26th at 9:30 a.m.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll see you on August 26th for this continuation. Thank you very much.